Huzzah! Off we go exploring. I'm Tom Vassell.
Back, baby. I'm Z Garcia. Hello.
Sam Healy, ready to go spelunking.
So this week I've been playing Pillars of Eternity 2, which is a
video game.
A video game, which is a like Baldur's Gate and stuff. But in this game, you have a pirate ship that you get on. You are pirates or privateers or whatever you want to be. Yeah. I'm a pirate.
I'm a murderer.
And so you can sail around the world and find islands. You just sail around. Oh, there's an island, then get off an island. I love this aspect of the game. I love this whole, wonder what's over there and go look and find something. It could be horrific. Sometimes you're like, I walked to one island and this big robot stepped on my face. And I was like, all right, that's a bad island to go to.
Nice. This sounds cool.
It is
cool.
cool.
Like that.
And I like the idea of exploration. It's harder to do in a board game.
You think so?
Well, it's easy to do the first time you play the board game.
That's true.
It's harder to do after that.
Sure, you're right. You're right.
But I mean, you even still, you're like, oh, I hope it's not a monster on this thing or whatever. I like the idea of exploration. The theme of exploration is also fine, even if it's not in the game.
And some of my games, I think, are going to fall into that first camp, where you are literally exploring something, flipping over tiles, adding on pieces of a board, that sort of thing. And then some of them will simply be in the spirit of exploration, where you know, they have a very Indiana Jones-esque kind of theme or vibe or spirit.
I think most of mine fall into the camp of the mechanism is exploration.
Mm-hmm. Flip a tile, see what's there.
Yeah, and some of them are in both camps, where the mechanism is there, but the feeling is also there.
Sure.
But I think most of them are more mechanically exploration.
All right.
I'm all about theme, baby.
Yeah.
And mechanisms. Here's the thing. We did this list like 4 years ago or whatever. This is this is the second time we've done this list. My top 5 this time were not on the list last time.
Wow.
They didn't even exist.
Wow.
So this is one where I think they're getting better at doing this in games, for sure.
There's been quite a few of them that have tackled this.
In fact, there's a couple I've left off my list I feel bad about.
Sure.
One of my top 5 from the last time is still in my top 5 here. The other 4 are new. Additionally, only, I think, 2 games from my last list made it to this one.
Wow. And I don't know. Because I did not look at my old list.
Maybe 3. I can't remember exactly.
But there's been a lot of turnover for me on this.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
Absolutely.
Let's get ready to rumble! Explore, I mean. Dora the Explorer. Doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo.
Number 10.
All right. Dora the Explorer, my favorite show.
My
Yeah?
number 10.
The movie.
Swipe or no swipe?
My number 10 is
I'm sorry.
Mansions of Madness 2nd Edition.
Yeah, baby.
Here's my question. Are we now, I was wondering, thinking about this on an unrelated subject. Can we just call it Mansions of Madness now?
No.
No?
That's a different game.
I know, but do we have to, you know what I mean? Do you have to differentiate at a certain point?
I mean, that is the full
Like, you
title,
can't-
isn't it? I mean, technically.
Well, it says 2nd edition, like, real small there.
Right.
Can we, like, even like Twilight Imperium, can you just say Twilight Imperium after a while?
Isn't it more accurate to say?
Sure, I'm just starting. I was
Second
just
edition.
wondering if it's like getting lengthy. Like when you go to the store and you say, "Do you have Mansions of Madness?" You don't have to worry they're going to sell you the wrong one. The other one's not in print anymore.
You never know. That
Some
matter of
old
fact,
store-
that situation, I would definitely want to make the delineation. I'm talking about this specific edition. I do not want anything that you may have in the back room as overstock.
All right, I sabotaged them. Go ahead. Sorry.
Anyway, Mansions of Madness 2nd Edition. This has a mechanical feel of exploring. You have to walk into these different rooms that have, you don't know what's in there.
Cultists.
Well, more than likely. But
There's
it
a
could-
good chance there's a cultist.
Cultists, yes. But it could be anything. When you turn the key in this lock, you don't know exactly what's going to happen. There is a definite mechanical sense of exploration there. But that mechanical exploration also gives you the feeling of exploration. This is one of those that kind of hits both of those vibes. But the reason it's 10 on my list is not because I like it that much less than all of these other games. I just think that the exploration theme is not there as much as I would like it to be. because it's more of that spooky whodunit type of theme that's there with the Cthulhu mythos and all this other kind of stuff. And I really wanted the exploration to be more prevalent. I'm okay with it the way it is. That's the only reason why it's number 10.
All right.
So more whips, fewer tentacles.
Oh, could you imagine if they made this kind of game with Indiana Jones flavor?
That would be awesome.
That would be amazing. Announce it at Gen Con.
Amazing.
It's changing his prediction.
No, I didn't say that's a prediction. That's a hope.
Alrighty. My number 10 is Pirates versus Dinosaurs. This is a Richard.
Wow!
Richard-
It's like the first time it's ever made a top 10.
Hey, baby. Welcome. This is a Richard Launius game in which you are all pirates. You have pieces, fragments of a map, and you are showing up at this island trying to dig up some treasure. But the island is filled with dinos.
I'm just still trying to wrap my head around the fact that you put a Richard Launius game on a top 10
That wasn't our
list.
Kumar.
Right.
That's very impressive.
This one I like. A lot of his games are chock full of theme, right? That's what he does.
He is an Amerithrash producer.
Yeah, and this is certainly that. But mechanically, this is fun too, and I like that it does feel like an exploration game. That kind of helps immerse me in the game.
I think I've only played this game once. I don't remember catching the exploration vibe to it. But again, that was
It's again,
long
you
time
are
ago.
sort of walking
I never
around the
played this
island. You haven't played. You walk around the island. You're finding clues. It's one of those things where, like, oh, I have an image of a totem. It's near this totem that the treasure is buried.
Right.
Is it here? No. Take some more actions. Move around. Is it here? No. But there's dinosaurs. The other players are constantly messing with you.
Yeah.
That's the vibe. It's a little long probably for what it is. It's a little complicated because the game's broken up into like 2 or 3 very distinct parts of the game. But if you want theme, this is a very thematic game. It's fun. It's goofy, but it's fun.
I still put my money on the dinosaurs.
Yeah, they're no joke. Pirates versus Dinosaurs. My number 10 pick.
They're going to join forces with the ninjas.
My number 10 is one of the ones that was on my list last time. And it's one of the oldest games, and we just added it to our library thanks to Sam and a German copy of the game, and that's Starfarers of Catan.
Wow.
Now, this one I have for 2 reasons. One, because this is like Catan, but you actually have to send out your spaceships to find planets and then
explore.
hope the numbers are good,
Yeah.
so you can drop your stuff on. So you're flipping the numbers, and you're like, oh, man, I hope I get a good combo out here between these planets. But also, the game has these encounters that you come across. Now, this is actually one of the... If this game was made in 2019, those encounters would be here.
On a
On a
phone,
phone for
Yeah,
sure.
yeah.
And it'd be cool because you would never be sure. The encounters could be a little bit more randomized. As it was, there's certain, if like the travelers, if they show up, you're like, okay, I better treat them well, right? You always treat the one group well, but some of the other ones, like if you treat them well, they might rob you and otherwise.
Okay.
But I like that aspect. Someone would read it to you and say, what's going to happen? You're like, I'm fighting these guys, or I'll give them one thing, and they're like, you've offended us. That's not enough. It was a cool aspect of the game. I just thought the deck was too small, and I would have loved that more cards in the deck. But between that and going out and exploring and finding the planets, it gave me a real sense of exploration. This is a game that's like in limbo. It's not being reprinted. I feel like it would sell. It would sell more than some of these other weird Catan spin-offs they're doing. Especially with, when this game came out, space was a no-go.
Right.
It was like 3 space games a year. Now
They
space
did
is a
not
big
sell.
deal.
Right, yeah.
So let's get it back. Let's get it back.
Yeah, the app idea sounds really good. I'm surprised they haven't done that.
So Starfarers of Catan, my number 10.
Number 9.
My number 9 is a game that was not on my list last time, and that's because I don't
It's not out yet.
think I had. No, I don't know. When did
Emperor
how
S4
long
wasn't
ago did we
around
make that?
as a company.
How long ago did we make that list?
Like 3 or 4
3 or
years.
4 years ago. Yeah, I can't remember if I had played this game by then or not.
You hated it back then.
No, I actually liked
I remember
this
you
game
body
a little
slamming the game on the. Oh, sorry.
I like this game better than Mansions of Madness, which is why it's number 9. I think it has almost the equal, no, maybe a little bit less of an exploration.
You know, we
version
really
of it.
cannot communicate this conversation till we know what the game is.
I'm flipping it up. My 8, I'm just going to say it. My 7, I'm going to give an intro. I'm trying to.
So you'd rather
both
play
worlds.
this than Mansions of Madness, second
Yes,
edition?
Inish.
Oh man,
My number 9
you're
is
dropping
Inish.
names like that
That's
so
right.
quick.
That's right. My number 9 is Inish. Now, with this one, you can take an action to explore the board, and you're actually taking a tile and boom, flipping it over. You don't know what tile it's going to be. Sometimes it's going to be a tile that has a very strong positive ability that you can use. Sometimes it's not as good. It just depends. But you're flipping the tile over, you're building the board more, and it has that exploration mechanism to it, but not really the feel. Because
Well, some people in chat predicted you would say this, so
exploring
you're on point.
the island of Ireland. So it's there, but it's not really the idea that you're exploring something new. You're just spreading out.
Okay.
So, but I still think it fits, and I really enjoy the game, and it's a beautifully produced game. So there you have it. My number 9, Inish.
All right.
Probably just going. It may not be a crossover.
Well, you guys don't like the game. That's fine.
He doesn't like it.
You
I
don't
despise
like it either.
it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
You don't
No,
like it. It's okay for you
I
guys
need
to be
to
wrong
play it
sometimes.
again.
It's all right. It's
I
okay.
feel
Tom needs
like-
to play it again. That's really what it is.
I feel
And
like-
despise it. Did I say that already?
Yes, you
I
did.
really don't. I've only played it one time. It was probably
And it was a
not
prototype
enough.
version at that point.
I think it was probably final.
No, it was fine. It was just a.
Game has a learning curve.
It was
There's no two ways
poor
about
weather
it.
conditions at the time.
Yeah.
Poor weather conditions.
All right, my number 9 is a card game called Gem Rush. And this might have been on my list last time. I assume it was. Still got my copy of it.
I thought you were going to put this on there.
I really enjoy it, and it's a game in which you are collecting cards. These are not the ones you collect. These go on the board, and you're building out a cavern with these. But those little symbols on the sides of the
That's actually really cool
tiles.
artwork.
The sides of the tiles have little symbols, and you play these different gems from your hand to cross a threshold. And you draw a tile, connect it to it, and you're moving around. Some of the rooms, some of the spaces have special powers. You're collecting victory points. I enjoy it a lot. I don't know what it is. It's a game that just moves along at a really fun clip. And for that kind of game, where you collect cards, turn in sets to explore, no other game does it as cleanly as this one.
And the title of the game, you can do it upside down or right side up.
It's an ambigram.
And it still says Gem
Is that what that's
Rush.
called? Ambigram?
I think so.
Yeah, that's cool the first 2 times.
I store mine upside down. No, I don't. There's also a second edition of this, which has been captivating me a lot lately, but I think it's kind of hard to get. I mean, you can get it on Amazon or whatever, but it's a lot of money. It's like $45.
Is it better quality? Because Victory
better
Point has
quality.
definitely gone up.
Well, it's in their fancy schmancy line, whatever they call that. But yeah, Victory Point games, their quality
I believe
is...
that's what they call it.
That'd be great. Victory Point games,
Fancy schmancy line.
Oh man, there's a lot of dumb names for companies. Fancy schmancy, I'd be all on board with that.
That's okay. Anyway, I do want to check out that new version. But as it is right now, that's still a really great game. My number 9 pick, Gem Rush, or if you flip the box,
Gem
Rush.
My number 9 is new to the list. This is just came out very, very recently, and it gives you a horrific feeling of exploration, and that is Nemesis. All right, so Nemesis, you are on board a ship with aliens from the movie Alien, except you can't say that because of copyright purposes. But that is what this is.
Okay.
So I'm not sure exactly why you don't know the layout of the ship. I know you've been
Amnesia,
in, you've been in cryogenic sleep, so maybe you're just like a passenger and don't know the ship.
Okay.
But you are exploring, hoping not to come across the alien. Well, they're
You stay off the hooch. You stay off the hooch. What you need to do.
You've been drinking too
Or
much.
carry a map around,
And you
something.
fell asleep. You're not in cryo sleep. You just fell asleep.
But you might run across the alien nest. You don't know what aliens are there. They might come out of the vents. So it's exploration. You're hoping to find like the armory and other things. And I like that idea. You're going across. I mean, there's some things I don't like about the game, but I mean, the exploration part is great. Although it is horrific, as you're just like, but that's cool, right?
Co-op, or is this all versus one?
Well, it's semi-co-op, right?
The aliens are not being played by a player.
No,
game's
no,
doing
not
that.
at the beginning anyway.
Ooh, nice.
But like, you could walk in a room and there's just nothing, and you're like, you know.
It's that game where you don't want to find stuff necessarily.
Well, but
right?
I mean, I'm like, oh, there's something neat. You could explore rooms too, and there's that aspect of delving deeper. But it's extremely thematic. So that's
Atmospheric.
Nemesis.
Yeah, yeah.
Atmospheric is better than whatever I said.
Thematic is good too.
No,
All right.
no, what I said was garbage. My number 9, Nemesis.
Number 8.
My number 8 was one of the ones that was actually on my list last time. It was much higher, and my liking of it hasn't really diminished. Mission Red Planet, 2nd edition.
Do we really have to say
Yes,
that
we
every
do.
time, Tom?
We do. Now, like I said, my liking of the game has not diminished that much. I just think that there are other games that have a stronger exploration feel to them. I've installed in the upper parts of the list this time, so.
That just sounded funny. You install, you put your list together.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
List
Theme,
finished.
Theme.
That's how I do.
But Mission Red Planet has the exploration theme in a couple of different ways. The first one is you don't know exactly what type of resource is going to be present at the place where you're going to. In addition to that, there are also some cards that you're installing underneath the board as the game goes on, and you might have to explore what that card is to see if you want to stay in this area or not. So there's a couple of different mechanical exploration things here. It's a little light on the exploration feel because you know you're going to Mars. You're not exploring Mars per se.
Where are we going?
Yeah.
Mars.
So there's that. I mean,
Well, you might think you're going to one part of Mars, and then I might put a nameplate on your ship, and you're actually going to another part.
That's true. So there is that. So that's why it's fallen down the list. It doesn't have as strong an exploration feel as some of these other games do, but still really enjoy the game, and it does have that exploration vibe going on. My number 8, Mission Red Planet, 2nd edition.
Did you said this wasn't your list last time?
Yes, it was.
Was I critical of it then?
Probably.
Well, then I'll be nice now.
Okay.
Great choice.
Sure. This
This
guy must have had some
He just woke up from cryo sleep.
oil and vinegar for lunch or something like that.
I had,
Egg chips.
egg and ham.
Anyway, my number 8 is all about the theme, really, more than anything else. It's a card game called The Lost Expedition. And this is Indiana Jones-esque. You know, trekking through the jungle. You are encountering tarantulas out there and
Meeting
cougars
Judge
and leopards.
Dredd.
And
Well,
you
that
are-
one, yeah.
And you are lost.
You are lost. You're trying to find the lost city of Z, right? You're the golden city.
Oh, that's why you
Or-
picked this.
Or you're not lost. You know exactly where you are. The people looking for you don't know where you
lost.
are.
Got it. Huh. It's one way to look at it, an erroneous way to look at it. I like the theme here a lot. That's what put it on the list for me. And I do like this one a little bit more than the Judge Dredd one, even though I like Judge Dredd as a theme, but this theme is more unique. I do feel like I'm lost in the jungle, encountering tribes sometimes, and they're helpful. And then the next card is somebody caught a disease. You know what I mean? And it's
Maybe
like,
it's-
they're
That's
losing
after you
health.
met the tribes.
Maybe it's
Or
more
whatever.
fitting. Maybe it's more fitting. Would that be a
Maybe,
better-
I think so. It's
I don't think it's unique. Being lost in the jungle is not a unique theme.
There's not a lot of game themes that are about being lost in the jungle. Name 7.
7? No, but I probably could name
How
6.
many?
3 right now.
Go.
Lost Cities.
Patrol.
Lost Cities.
Was a Warhammer. This
Real
one.
games.
Uh,
Don't spit.
the El Dorado
Lost Cities.
one where you're
Lost
doing
Cities.
that.
Come on, man.
Lost
That's
Cities, yeah.
Oh, I
Come
got to
on.
say Lost Cities. Woo! That's my
No,
goal.
seriously though, that's
You owe me $5.
it's not a unique theme. Oh my goodness, you're spitting all over everything.
Anyway,
just
Lost
saying
Expedition.
You're saying the theme fits the
It fits the list. Yeah. Even not mechanically.
mechanism.
Not mechanically, but thematically, absolutely. Yeah.
Okay, sure.
Great expansion for it, too, out there. So, that's it. Number 8, Lost Expedition.
My number 8 is actually kind of a family of games. in a sense.
He did
I'm
it
picking.
again.
No.
He's always doing this.
No, but I'm picking the newest one, even though I have not finished the newest one. So I'm putting up Betrayal Legacy.
So a game you haven't played.
No, that's not what I said. So I could have put Betrayal at House on the Hill here or the Betrayal at the Baldur's Gate. I like this because you never know what you're going to find next. Now, Betrayal Legacy even more so because each mission you're adding more stuff to it.
Right.
But I like the whole aspect of you walk in one room and it's like some craziness. This is not. It's kind of weird. This is high on my list of exploration games. I don't necessarily think Betrayal at House on the Hill, for example, is a great game. I think there's a lot of problems with it, a lot of balancing problems. But I love the exploration part. I'll play it because of that. Like, oh, what's in this room? There's a doll sitting there with a knife.
That's evil, right.
I'll go in this room. Now there's a mummy. And it's silly horror as opposed to Cthulhu horror.
It's B-movie horror for sure.
Yeah.
I consider this game, not the Legacy one, but regular Betrayal, but I just don't like the game. But you're right, the exploration, like walking around a mansion and finding creepy rooms that, again, are all kind of B-horror movie rooms. Fantastic.
I actually say that it's its most fun the first time you do it.
Yeah, sure.
Because you're like, or we used to play it almost like once a year, like in October or whatever, and you forgot what all the stuff was. Like, ooh, that you come to the wall and there's a hand pushing out. You're like, what? It's silly fun, right? And because of that, it's on my list. So number 8, Betrayal Legacy.
Cool.
Manchester Madness, replace this for me.
Number 7.
My number 7. I'm glad you included a legacy game just then because mine's a legacy as well.
Seafall.
Exploration.
No, Seafall is definitely 100%. Seafall is exploration.
Legacy game?
Yeah,
Is he going to say Season 2?
I am. Pandemic Legacy Season 2.
Sure, I guess.
You have to explore the board.
Okay.
And you have no idea what's going to happen when that thing opens up, when
That's
that part of the board
true.
opens up.
That's true.
I mean,
I
a
would-
whole mess of things can happen when you
I
open
would
up a part
argue
of the
that
board.
Seafall has stronger exploration.
You hush. No, it doesn't.
It does have stronger exploration.
But it's such a bad game.
It's
with
sad.
kids.
No way that's
but
gonna
see,
come on.
If someone likes Seafall, I could see it being on a list for them for sure.
Oh, 100%.
It meets the theme for sure.
Yes.
Yes, but it's a horrible game. Pandemic Legacy has the exploration, and it's a really good game. So that's why it made the list.
That's interesting. I didn't even think of this.
I didn't think of it either, but I mean, I'm not arguing it.
It definitely, you cannot argue it. That's the problem.
I mean, you could try.
That's your problem.
I can argue anything.
Yes, you can.
I'll argue against my own games.
Yes, you
Betrayal,
can.
stupid choice.
I agree. Pandemic Legacy, you have to explore. I mean, if you look at the picture of the board that's there, that's how it starts. You only have like a third of the board that you're looking at. And you have to explore the other areas of the board, and the proverbial feces will hit the fan in some of those reveals for some of those different things.
That's another good company for name company. Feces and fans.
Proverbial feces.
Proverbial feces.
Proverbial feces.
Yeah. We got to get on that.
I don't want to do a company that's called that. You know how easy I'm
Proverbial
making it as a
feces?
reviewer?
That's a band name.
It's like asking reviewers.
What, Proverbial?
Anyway, my number 7, Pandemic Legacy, Season 2 specifically.
Second edition.
No.
All right, my number 7 is the one I figured was real high up on my list last time. It's been around for ages. Tikal. Tikal is kind of like the one that I think of first every time. Now, it's this high up on the list because there's other games I like more, but Tikal almost seems like the exploration game. It's about, again, it has sort of a similar theme to the last one I was talking about, the Lost Expedition. You are trekking through the jungle, discovering old forgotten temples, digging them up, clearing the brush away, finding hidden artifacts and collecting them. It's all about exploring these tiles. The connections between the tiles are the difficulty of passage from one to the next. It's a cool game, and it's an area control game. That's the idea. This game does have a really neat scoring system that last time I played, maybe 5 months ago or so, I thought, I forgot how cool this scoring system is and how well it works. And that is that it's area control, but you score after you take a turn. So you like take your 10 points worth of actions or whatever, then score. And then you take 10 points worth of action and you score.
Well, Java does the same thing at the end.
Yeah, I mean the Mask series kind of does
Java,
that, but that's really cool.
It's
That
nice
means
because
like there's no moment where I'm at a disadvantage and it's just bad timing when the tile got flipped.
yes, I like that's a. Why doesn't anyone do that anymore?
Great way to do area control because I have my turn to affect it. I can mess with things, pull a quick one. I'm winning there, at least right now. You can take it back on your turn, but I'm winning and scoring it right now. I like that a lot. So
I meant
to Cal,
Cusco, not
That's
Java.
That's
the new one.
weird. That's weird. I don't know. From my point of view, that's weird area control.
you crazy.
Because you don't. I mean, yeah, you control the area just on your turn, but you don't. Like, do you get extra bonuses if you control it for more than one turn?
No, just when scoring happens.
Yeah.
Well, Java it happens,
weird.
or Cusco it happens at the very end, and I like the idea of it because if scoring happens and you're like, well, man, if it only had happened at the end of my turn, I would have scored. If I had one more turn, I would have been able to move this here. Java's like, all right, you can. So I do like blah blah blah, score. Now you do. Now I'm controlling that score. I like that.
Yeah.
You still might not be able to take it back over. I might have 20.
Exactly.
You still might not be able to do it. But if you were this close, you can pull it off.
Right.
And I like that a lot.
Yeah.
All right.
So it's my 7 to Cal.
My
Second
number
edition.
7 is the fastest exploration game on any of our lists
That's it.
Planet.
because it's 10 minutes long.
Like,
Escape.
oh yeah, baby.
Especially with the expansions, because with the expansions you add more weird rooms. Like, oh, we went in this room. It's a trap. It's a pit. Now you got to do something to get out of the
Sure,
pit.
right.
I would highly recommend against playing more than 1 or 2 modules at a time. But adding a module in, I think here it's showing like some of the trapped rooms or whatever. They do various things, or an artifact. You're never quite sure what you're going to find, but it's neat and has that exploration. But it's fast exploration.
10 minutes, right? I mean,
10 minutes.
It has to be 10 minutes.
I need to get this one to the table. I haven't played it for a while. I really
Fun.
like
It's
it.
been ages, but yeah, this is
I
a
guess
neat game.
I haven't played this very often. The few times that I've played it, I just didn't catch that exploration feel. I know it's there mechanically.
Well, again, I'm going to clarify, especially with the expansions. With the base game, you're just finding different rooms that have various symbols on them. But you are looking for the exit. But with the other one, there could be a trap. There could be an artifact that does things, and that gives you that exploration.
I guess
more.
I'm always focused on am I rolling the right symbols
Sure.
so that I can move around.
The answer to that question was no, you were not.
Yeah, I know, but I'm not focused on the exploration aspect of it. I'm focused on am I rolling the right symbols?
Oh, so it's
Am I
number
rolling the right
7 on my
symbols? Am I
list.
rolling the right symbols? No,
There
I
are
get it.
6 better games.
No, I get it.
Ooh.
That's a good pick. I like it.
Number 6.
I know. I was
Get
waiting
it.
on purpose.
Okay.
My number 6 is Diamant, or for those of who've been around a little bit longer, Ink and Gold was the predecessor.
Well, it's right
actually,
in
Diamant is technically older, but
Diamant is actually the original name. It was republished as Ink and Gold, and then it was republished again by Yellow with Diamant as
You've
the,
given me
as the original name.
an idea of like a test for people to see how old they are in gaming. What's the name of this game you show a picture? They write Ink and Gold. You're like, they're in that category.
true. That's a good idea, right?
No.
Anyway, Diamant is a game where you
that gives
you
me
are
an
part
idea.
of a team of spelunkers that are diving into a cave. Maybe you're archaeologists out to make a quick buck. I don't know. You're trying to go as far into a cave as you possibly can by. And each card turns over a certain number of gems, and you get to split those gems up by how many people are still in
Sometimes.
the game. Sometimes, right? Sometimes there's like really bad juju things that are out there, and you gotta.
Have you had a bad juju? It can make you choke and die.
I remember snakes,
Yes,
fire,
yes. Cursed idols,
cursed idols. Is that the creepy voodoo kid?
spiders.
Spiders. I remember that.
I think there's some monkeys
Rocks.
in there somewhere, and there's falling
rocks. I guess the cursed idol then is that creepy little kid.
I thought there was a troll.
Yeah. I don't.
Like a monster.
No, I don't think so.
Well, it depends
I
what-
think that might be the little voodoo doll or whatever that's there.
That's the bad juju.
That's the bad. That's a bad juju right there. But anyway, you're going into this cave and you're flipping over things and it's a push your luck thing, but you're exploring into a cave and you're trying to go as far as you can to get as many gems and all that kind of stuff as possible. Maybe you want to be the one to leave last, especially if there's a statue out there, so you can grab that statue. It's really an easy mechanism. You're just basically deciding, do I continue going further or do I go back to the camp? That's what you're doing every single turn, but you're turning over these cards, and it gets, the more bad things that come out, the more probable it is that another bad thing is going to come out and end your trip,
right.
and you're going to bust. So, but the exploration feel is definitely there, mixed in with that push your luck feel.
Yeah.
You really do feel like you're exploring a cave and you're pushing your luck, going further and further and further.
It's just not a realistic theme.
No,
Because you go in there 5 times. And I would go in there half a time.
Well, yeah, I go in, the first spider card goes, I'm like, I'll see y'all
I'll walk in
later.
and be like, is that a shiny pebble over there? Oh, a snake bite.
No, especially if you got, if I find like a pile of gems and you see snakes, you're like, this is good.
Yeah.
Plenty.
This will pay for the trip home.
I got my souvenir. I'm good.
Done.
That's my number 6, Diamant or Ink and Gold.
All right, my number 6 is, again, all about the theme here. Much like the last two I've talked about, this is a looker also, Relic Runners.
I knew this was going to be.
Yeah, Relic Runners is a gorgeous game. You are exploring the jungle, finding paths through the jungle, collecting artifacts. And the more I thought about it when I put it on the list, it's very unique. I've never seen any other game on this list or any that has this theme. Don't get me started. Don't get those people started out there who are like, actually, the term very unique doesn't make any sense.
Unique's definition has changed. It now does not always mean one of a kind. There's a secondary condition that just means unusual and different. Get over it.
Whew. You just got told the more you know.
Would you like to know more?
What was I talking about? Relic Runners. Anyway, I thought about it and I thought, yeah, okay, cool, the theme, yes. But then I thought about the mechanisms and I realized, no, some of it is exploration. There's those stacks of tiles.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
And you don't know what they are. So you go in there and you flip them.
Oh, yeah.
When the stack is fully gone and you've explored all pieces, there are different heights of temples. Then you put out the really cool plastic skulls.
Oh, no.
You're such a dork. And those are, I still say to this day, some of the best components in any Days of Wonder game.
Oh, yeah.
No.
Take this away from me, please. Anyway, I really enjoy Relic Runners. Have you played this?
It's got a sharp point. That's why. No, stop.
No. Yes, we played it together, you doofus.
I'm being a dork.
Okay.
Number
The
6,
pen.
Relic Runners.
Is mightier than the sword, Indy.
All right. My number 6 was number 1 last time.
Oh,
Well, a lot of great games have come out since then. My number 6 is Lost Valley.
man, I remember
was
you
on my
putting
list
this at
last
number
time.
1. I almost threw up.
Jeez.
6 is correct.
Oh, the troll has awakened.
Lost Valley is a game where you are going out and exploring a valley looking for gold. You're moving out, turning over these rhombus-sized tiles.
What's wrong with those tiles?
Those are rhombus size?
They're diamonds, if you want to call them that. You're moving through
Wait, is
the.
rhombus
You're
a
building this
size?
river,
It's a shape.
but you're also.
He's trolling you now. I'm sorry, Tom.
I don't believe in trolling.
You awakened the bear.
But this game,
game,
you're looking for various. You're looking for hunters. You not hunters. Things to hunt. You'll find animals. You flip it over. Hope it's not a rat.
Cross the river with a canoe and all
Yeah,
that.
it's a more mundane theme, right? There's no fantastical stuff going on in this game.
realistic,
but that's
right.
okay. I like it a lot. It's really fun and looking for the gold. It's quick. It's an underrated game. Not a lot of people talk about it, but Lost Valley, my number 6.
I would say it feels dated, honestly, by now.
Again, number 6.
Do you think that's partly why?
I think it's a little more dated, but it's still so fast, I don't think it matters.
This would do well with another edition. They'd already had a second edition, I
Yeah,
think.
who did republish this one? This was Pandasaurus, but not
it?
Pandasaurus. It was whatever company that got folded into
Right,
Pandasaurus.
right. I don't remember who it was, but this would do well again with another go. A stab at this on Kickstarter, I think, would do well. But
Yeah,
it needs to be
especially
modernized a little
with,
bit.
I don't know, Rob Davio, it's not 10 years old yet.
If
but
they did that, would you call it Lost Valley Second Edition or just Lost Valley?
Second edition.
Okay.
I'm in your camp, baby.
move
I don't
on.
want to get hit.
Number 5.
Disgusting. All right, my number 5. I've taken a lot of guff about
Okay,
including
dude.
this on a non-thematic or a themeless games list. I took a lot of guff because I did put
Because
it on.
it was correct! And I will never forgive you for that.
You don't even know what the game is.
Yes, I do.
Yes,
Because
he
of what he
does.
just said.
Yeah. My number 5 is Time Stories.
Oh, that's right.
And I'm going to say that this is a mechanically explorative game.
But not thematically, you're like looking for stuff.
Thematically, yes, you are.
You just said it was mechanically.
No, I'm sorry, mechanically, yes, you are. You're looking for things mechanically. You're moving from one place to the
Sure,
other.
but it's also theme.
Mechanically.
We're looking for something. Like in the pirate one, we were looking for something specific.
True. And then
I was looking
what
for a
other?
whooping.
What other? You were looking for a Wookiee?
For a
Is that-
whooping.
Oh, a
You're
whooping.
looking for trouble.
You found it.
I
You
found it several times in a row.
Okay, let's rehash this for just a moment. The reason I included it on my themeless list is because there are so many different themes that have been attributed to this mechanical configuration.
Why are you kicking his beehive? This is an
This
exploration
is not a
list.
beehive. This is exploration. This is an explorative game.
Shut
You're
up,
correct.
Sam. Was that it?
No, you shut up. Anyway, very much, this is top 5. Very much an explorative game. And I get it. My whole thing with theme is that you can put any theme in it, which makes the construct themeless, which is what the game is. It's
That's-
the construct.
That was deep. I don't care what you say.
So anyway, that's my number 5, Time Stories.
I think that's a good choice.
I guess so. I hadn't thought about it, but I guess so. It feels. Yeah, I guess. I mean, you're going around the different places, and you don't really know what's going to be in there after you,
I
till
mean,
you walk in there.
if you don't have a problem with Mansions of Madness,
I don't.
you can't have a problem with Time Stories because
Okay,
it's pretty
then I
much the
don't.
same thing.
All right.
That's logic.
End of discussion, I believe. All right, my number 5 is a game that I want to say is also out of print, and it's the designer's only game. It's Tobago.
Tobago?
Or Tobago.
Is it pronounced Tobago?
Yes, just like the sluts, the Tobagans that you. I don't know. Who cares?
Tobago, Tobago. I've heard it both ways. I don't know. I say Tobago.
Are you sure he hasn't done another game?
Yes, Bruce Allen or something like that. He's never done something else. This one, you are exploring an island, digging up treasure, and you are having to figure out where that treasure is. However, the way you figure that out is by, well, coming up with a rule as to where it is. You play out a card that says, treasure's not within 2 spaces of a tree. But you play that onto a pile of cards, and you remove some of those little cubes that are possibilities for where it is.
I pretend I found that clue.
Of course. But, and you have to sell the theme here. Because it is a game that does not have an answer for you as to where the clue is. You technically, and by you I mean the players, come up with the answer. But eventually enough players play there that you get it down to a single spot. And then everybody jumps in their little jeeps and races over there, digs up the treasure. This is probably the prettiest game on the list.
Oh, boo!
You just said Relic Runners was. No, he said. Technically, he said Relic Runners had the best Days of Wonder.
The prettiest game on your list, you mean?
That's what I
Which was
mean.
a-
Yeah,
Well,
of
you
course.
back off
I don't know
mine.
your list.
I got some pretty games.
I forgot everything you said so far. This is probably, I mean, the components in this are stunning. The game looks good. It's got the theme really puts you there. I definitely feel like I'm running around an island exploring, seeking treasure, and everything helps tell that story. The game mechanically, there's a couple of things I think are a little on the weak side, but overall, this is immersive stuff. So that's why I put it on the list. My number 5,
Tobago. The internet
Tobago,
is shouting
Tobago.
at me.
Tobago.
Okay.
It's
That's what I-
Tobago. That's
what
the
I
internet is
said.
saying?
That's what they are saying.
Okay.
All right.
Tobago.
Actually, this person said it's Tobago.
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 All right. Anywho,
Or not.
Bagel to go.
my number 5 is our first crossover. I'm crossing over with Samuel Healy.
What's up,
Mansions.
Mansions of Madness. This was one of the first ones I thought of. Yes, especially you haven't played the later ones. there's a really big one. I think it's like the fifth mission, and you got to go to different towns, and then you go through that town, and you go through and you talk to people and discover stuff.
Man. Roy and I played one where you went to a different time period.
Did you? I didn't play that one. Well, no, I'm saying that
Back up off me, bro.
No, I'm saying that I think the exploration gets even stronger the more you go through it, because you're really not sure what you're going to find each thing, and I love that feeling. The app makes it even more. The app gives you that whole, hey, there's more stuff.
The creepy music.
What are you doing?
I just thought of a game that I probably should put on my list, but that's okay. Anyhow,
Tell me what it is.
no, it doesn't matter. Okay, so
down,
the
put
app
it on my
though,
list.
and this is why I like apps. They give you that. They give you that. Like with Betrayal, one of the things I love is you can play the exact same scenario, and different things might happen. The rooms might be different, and that makes it even more randomized. And I'm never quite sure what's going to happen. Love that. So, my number 5, Betrayal, House on the Hill. Oh. Matches of Madness. I don't know why I said Betrayal.
Because you were just thinking about it.
Yeah, Matches of Madness. My number 5.
Second edition.
Which edition, man? Tell me.
The first edition didn't have the app now, did it?
It did not.
Yeah, so it's got to be the second edition.
I'm just saying, I feel like we're wasting our time.
No.
Number 4.
All right, my number 4 is a Games Workshop game that I have only played once, but I want to play it again.
Well, good, because it's number 4 on this list.
Patrol.
No, that was I gave that game a 5. I did not like that game at all.
Warhammer 40,000.
No.
First edition.
Assassinorium Moriarty.
I'm enjoying you guys just trying to think of Games Workshop name games. This is pretty...
Assassin. That's an old...
Assassinorium,
that's One Hill game.
This is the Warhammer Fantasy, I believe it's called, Blackstone Fortress. This is one of their newer titles, Warhammer Quest, Warhammer Quest Blackstone Fortress. Now this is one where the reason this has a pretty high exploration game feel to it is because you don't actually have a board on the table when you start this game. You only have a deck of cards, and that is the exploration deck, and you flip over the card. That tells you what you do throughout the rest. Sometimes you just have to pass this test to continue going deeper into this fortress. But other times you're flipping over, and now you have a combat, or now you're being ambushed, and you have to set up, you don't even know what the board's going to look like. And you set up that thing, and this was one of the things that I was kind of worried about, because I was like, man, that's really going to clutch up the game. But it actually doesn't. It has that explorative feel as you're going through the Blackstone Fortress, and I really did enjoy it, because I think maybe because I was apprehensive about it to begin with.
Sure.
And when it actually worked, I was like, okay, this is cool. I like it. So really do enjoy this game. I want to get it to the table more. So me and Roy are going to have to get
on that, Roy.
Get to it. That's Warhammer Quest, Blackstone Fortress.
You better paint that game. All right, my number 4 is also the new one on my list, so that was clearly your latest one.
Yeah.
My number 4 is also my latest one, and it's a game called Nagaraja. It's a 2-player game in which you are building up. It's a card-driven game, but you are exploring the inside of a temple.
Whatever, it's Bruno Catala.
With different paths in order to reveal treasures along the outside of your board. It's, again, the usual mix, yes, of like a cool theme with some strong mechanisms, with some luck, with some tactics. He kind of mixes that stuff together in a stew that works for me. The cards have
artist?
2 purposes.
Artwork is really nice.
Dutray, I think.
Is it?
Yeah.
I thought so.
I'm not sure that Vincent Dutray is a person. I know we met him.
It is.
But it's possible cloning or a consortium, because the amount of artwork. I just opened up those museum expansions. There's artwork in all of those.
Right.
Yeah.
Where's he find the time to do
Well, here's
this?
the thing. Vincent Dutray was actually born in 1866. And he's been drawing since the week he was born.
Yes. So he
His artwork is actually very old. They're just finding it. They're still going through it.
I got
that
it.
he has cataloged, and when somebody else comes, oh yeah, I got that. Here.
I need a game that's about worms fighting.
Yes, sir.
Google. There you go. No, in this one, I like the cards are dual action. You can spend them to mess with the other player, or you could spend them to hopefully give you influence to win a tile and explore deeper. Quake kind of makes me think of Raptor a little bit, the back and forth sort of nature of it.
Okay.
It's got that similar vibe to it. I really enjoy this. So Nagaraja, pretty new game, like I said, but I've played it quite a bit, and I've just been loving it. So that's my number 4 pick.
Cool.
Sweet.
My number 4, well, my number 5 is going to be Mansions of Madness. Then the one I like better has to be number 4, and that's Lord of the Rings, Journey in Middle-earth. Really like this. I like the Lord of the Rings theme better than Mansions of Madness, but it does have the exploration thing. And to test it, I went back and played the first scenario like 4 times. Went through and looked at how they laid things out. That eagle that we couldn't, I haven't run into them since. I think those eagles exist, but I haven't seen them again. I like that, though.
Right.
That was a one-time thing that we saw. I mean, maybe it's not one time. But to me, the capabilities of this system are huge.
Right.
Fantasy Flight could just go and stick 4 more random events. They probably won't. But I'm waiting for a company to do that. A company that's like, hey, we're going to be consistently adding stuff in. You might have played this game last month. It might be different this month.
Well, I know, wasn't the Martian game from Portal, wasn't that part of the deal? I'm assuming they did that. What's that called? First Martians?
First Martians, yeah.
I know the part of the concept at play was there's going to be just events happening. Stuff's going to come out. The app is going to be supplemented. Sometimes you'll play a scenario that is only available because there's some historical, like, oh, we landed on the moon in this month 50 years ago, so boom, you get to play this. So they did that, I think. Again, I haven't played the game a whole lot. But
yeah, but that's what I'm
I
saying.
wouldn't want
With
to
this
discount them
exploration
for you
thing,
saying no one's done it. I think they've done it.
okay. But no one's done it for a game that's super popular.
Wow. I tried helping and just keeps on showing.
No, but the concept is cool, though. I mean, I know Fantasy Flight makes new missions for this, and they already got something, and you can buy those. I just think that having a pool of random stuff is awesome. Like, I don't know, in Arkham Horror, I mean, Mansion of Madness, you played the new stuff. The Mansion of Madness, they added more monsters, right? Can those monsters possibly show up in the original game? They probably can't. But can they show up if you click that you own that set? Can they show up in original ones? Because if so, again, that's neat because it makes the whole game more robust.
Right. Yeah, it pulls. It knows what you own, and it pulls from that.
Anyway, I really like this a lot. So, Lord of the Rings, Journeys into Middle-earth, my number 4.
Number 3.
My number 3
Top 3, baby.
is
that's it. Now it's getting
this
real.
one. This one has a little bit more of a eccentric exploration feel to it.
Exploring your mind.
Because you're not actually.
That would be cool.
No, that actually is kind of what it is because this is called Legacy of Dragonholt.
Wow. See, someone mentioned in the comments that I wonder if to put on the list, and I thought, that is a good choice.
That's a good choice.
I just
You're
didn't think of
right.
it.
Thank you very much.
That is
Validation.
That erases every other bad pick he's made so far, I would say.
Wow.
Which have been numerous and frequent. Good job.
That's a proverbial good pick.
No, this is good stuff. This is actually a really smart pick. I didn't think of it.
I like it a lot. I'm probably the one that likes this game the most out of the three of us because you guys tired on it pretty quick.
Well, I want to actually, I plan to finish it by just reading it myself, by playing it myself. I got tired of hearing you guys read stuff out loud.
I think it's just not
right.
I think it's better solitaire. I agree 100%.
Yeah, that's the thing.
I don't know. I think it's a pretty cool group activity to go through. It's not that much different than an RPG, really.
Sure. But except for the reading, though. You can just converse in an RPG. You don't have to read.
True, but
how much can I hear about apples? You know,
I get that. But there's still I'm looking, I guess, from a DM's point of view, who has to explain the situation, the room that you're in, the different people that are around, and that's what the game does for you.
Yeah, that's true.
It pretty much provides you with a DM to take a group through a RPG.
Right.
I like that. I like that. It's like a streamlined RPG is the feel I get for
Sure.
it. So that's why it's my number 3, and it's kind of an eccentric game in that respect that it takes a RPG experience and it makes it more palatable, I guess, for a wider group of people. But it definitely has that exploration feel to it because you have to make different decisions. You don't know what it's going to lead to. It's great. I really enjoy it. My number 3, Legacy of Dragonholt.
I was talking about
I'll give you
unique.
300 experience points for that.
I said
pick.
eccentric, not unique.
No, but I'm saying said unique earlier for some games,
Yeah.
which was garbage. I was just lying. This is actually I would say, a unique experience.
I'm actually
Okay.
surprised they haven't followed up
I mean,
on
there's
it
no other
with
game
more
quite like this.
games in this
Well, it
series.
didn't sell very well, right?
I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know either, yeah.
People stopped talking about it.
But this is a
Well, that's
very
every
different game from most games out there.
Yeah.
It really does feel like an RPG in a box. All right. My number 3 is a crossover with Tom
No.
and Sam.
Mansion
Oh,
of Madness.
okay.
Mansions of Madness,
I'm back in.
first edition. Hey, man, how am I supposed to play this game in 50 years when my iPad doesn't work? So first edition it is. The good edition.
No,
All right, fine. Second
definitely
edition.
says second edition. Right?
Also, just as a small heads up, in 50 years, you ain't gonna be playing any of these games.
How do you know?
I've seen the way he lives his life.
Not wrong. He's not wrong. Okay, 40 years, please. Yeah, you guys said it all. I think I like the exploration here. It's solid. The theme is fun. There's probably my favorite thing about this game is how small the rulebook is. How much they take off your plate.
Sure.
That's probably my favorite thing about this.
Yeah.
Is that the rulebook is a few pages, and then everything is handled by the app. You tell it what you just touch buttons, man. Press the you roll dice and move and stuff, but it really alleviates the difficulty of playing considerably.
Yep.
That's why I like it so much.
I also like to a lot of people say, well, it might as well just be a video game. Maybe, but a video game is typically played by a single person. We're playing this as an experience, and there still is miniatures of things moving around the
Sure.
board. I can visually look at the board and think about stuff, and yet not have to think about the stupid upkeep and all that nonsense.
Right,
The
right.
game does that.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm right there with you guys. Mansions of Madness, second edition. My number 3 pick.
Kosher deals.
My number 3 is best when you play it as a campaign or multiple games in a row. The exploration comes out even more so in that.
Descent.
And no, because I always play the Dungeon Master. I know what's coming. Near and Far. So Near and Far, as you go through, when Z met the Red King or whatever, like in an early
Couldn't
mission.
find that jerk again.
But if you play more often, you will.
Oh, I'm gonna punch him in the mouth, in his proverbial red mouth.
Dude, you released him.
Oh, I did? I'm sorry. I'm gonna befriend
Yeah,
him
you
then.
joined forces
Yeah, you were
with
like,
Red King.
yeah, whatever. Don't even punch the guy.
I don't remember. I just know I met him and it was cool because it was unique.
Yeah,
happened in
and that's what I like about this game. If you go through the book,
Fire's house, yeah.
you will go through and you will explore and find things, and then if that's boring, you can go back and play through with the character paths and find their things.
Yeah, yeah.
And if that's boring, you can go through and play again. You won't ever see everything in the game, even if you go through the whole campaign. And I like that. It's just this fun, and it's not even a campaign. You can just play one game,
Yeah.
pick a random board, play it, and stuff happens. I like that. It's a choose your own adventure. However, there's a really, really good, solid game behind it.
Right. This is probably the closest game on this list so far to Legacy of Dragonholt, actually. Where there's
Sure,
a ton
but it's
of
a whole
content,
lot. There's a whole lot less
but it's
story.
a lot of writing, a lot of reading, the writing that's gone into it. You know, the story can go in so many different ways that most games can't handle that weight. And I mean, like, that much content, that much writing. So that's a good pick, too, yeah. I just need to play it more. This is a game that was on my to-get list for a while. It's been so long, I kind of just sort of forgot. Eventually, I think clicked it off because it had been a year and a half.
You gave up.
I gave up on it, but I would love to play
You're
some
not a
more.
real acquisition
You're a
disorder guy.
quitter.
If you start taking games off the list of your wants,
Yeah, that's not okay. All right, I'll put it back on.
Number 2.
My number 2. All right, my number 2 is another eccentric, I guess you could say, mechanism that employs the whole exploration theme to it. It's called Treasure Island. In this one, you are exploring Treasure Island, trying to find the treasure. And this is, I know you did not like it at all. But it's the idea that you're not flipping over a tile. You're not flipping over a card. You're not doing it. You are actually moving from one place in the island to the next, and then you're drawing on the board your circle of exploration, the amount of time or whatever, the amount of area that you're going to search. Is this where it is? No, it's not. Okay, well, you got to go somewhere else. And there are other clues that you're getting throughout the course of the game that will tell you what part of the island you probably need to go explore next. I enjoyed it a lot, and it's number 2 because of the. I hate using the word unique now. Thanks, guys.
It's correct. You can use it.
Okay. Anyway, it has a unique exploration mechanic in it that you don't see in a lot of different games. It is not the whole.
Pretty much don't see it in anything.
Right. I mean, it's new. That's why it's not anywhere else. But I like it. I really did enjoy it. I thought it was great. It looks great on the board. Again, it's vintage trade artwork, and it just looks amazing. When games look better, when they look amazing, they're more fun to play. Number 2, Treasure Island.
This is on your list, right?
It is not. No way.
It's not coming up? I thought you really liked it.
No, I like it a lot. I didn't put it in this category. I think of it as deduction, not exploration. That's all.
I think of it as neither.
So definition
What do you
unique.
think
Number
of it?
1,
I
being
can't
the only
say.
one. Number 2, being without a like or equal. Number 3, definition of unique, unusual. And this is Merriam-Webster, and their example is a very unique ballpoint pen. It's Merriam-Webster. Come on
I
now.
don't question the Websters.
Nope. Especially when Miriam's with them.
All right, my number 2 is a cooperative exploration game in which you're trying to escape, get out, and it's a game called Subterra.
I knew this was going to
Oh, I thought this
Your
was me as number 1,
list.
but now, wow, I have 2 games left for you.
That's crazy. Maybe it's
It
this
must
one
be
and
the
then
other
the
one.
other one then.
No, I mean, I have 2 games that I was.
Okay, well, you tell
3
me
games.
afterwards, and we'll see what happened if I forgot about it or didn't
Okay.
put it on.
Yeah, but this one you've been really talking about lately.
Yep.
Yeah, and I don't know if it was on the last one. I forget when I got this one.
No,
played.
it was not.
It is my only complaint about this game is that the printing on it is really dark. The tiles are very dark, and I would love to see a fancy schmancy production from that new company.
Fancy schmancy games, yes.
Pick this up and
Victory
put out
Fancy
a deluxe version of this. There are minis that you could get as like stretch goals. I got those because I reviewed the expansions, and there's some good content there, but my only beef is that it looks really dark. It's hard to see. But the gameplay is clean, it's streamlined. You are always just barreling towards the end of the deck, because in the bottom 5 tiles there's an exit, but you are running out of time quick. And it's so tense. I just played this not that long ago, actually, just solitaire. When you get to the end of the deck, the really cool part, when you get to the end of the card that you're flipping for bad stuff to happen, the very last one simply says, your flashlights go out. From now on, every time a turn ends, the game's not over right away, but every time your turn ends, you roll a die. And if you fail on that roll, which is basically a 50-50 unless you have some special ability, the darkness consumes you. There's monsters down there. But you could get a few extra turns, so if you were close, you could pull it off. And so I had four heroes. One of them swallowed immediately. The other 2 pushed a little bit. One of them got swallowed. And then I was like 3 tiles from winning, so I needed some extra good luck, but they didn't make it. They just died down there. But that this game
That's a terrible story.
I still say,
That's dark.
oh, it's very dark down there. Like I said, better printing would help.
It's like, man, I wish the people made this game did a better job.
I still say it has one of the best game ending feels of any co-op. Yeah, I really like it. So, Subterra, rather, my number 2 pick. Really enjoy it.
My number 2 is another crossover with Sam Healy.
What's up with me, man? What's wrong with me? I got the.
You're not getting any crossovers, sorry. All right, and it's Time Stories.
Oh.
Now,
Okay.
we have definitely been cooling a little bit on Time Stories as a bit, but the exploration feeling is still strong.
Speak for yourself.
And this definitely came forward in the last one, Brotherhood of the Coast. Because in this one, we actually,
Holy pixelated picture, Batman.
well, you know what?
It looks fine up there.
Yeah, it looks fine in there. Don't let,
Sure, okay.
Okay. But in this one, we were actually sailing to different islands and
right.
finding things. And one of my big exploration things is that whole ocean or space.
Pillars of Eternity,
Go find,
basically.
well, or whatever. I used to play, what was that game? Spore, where you started as a spore and eventually
Oh, wow.
went to
Yes.
spaceship. And then you would go out, and I looked for Earth. I spent so much time looking for Earth. I knew it was out there somewhere.
Take out Earth.
I found it using the internet. But this game, every time you go to a new location, you're like, what am I going to find? And then you look at the picture and go, what's that guy going to do to me if I go talk to him?
Right.
I love that.
Right.
That's still the best part of Time Stories, is that I don't know what's going to happen. And I especially like the exploration brings up anachronistic stuff. That's my favorite part. Like, you see a guy there, you know, and this didn't happen again, but like a pirate, and he's lighting a cigar with a lighter, a Bic lighter, and you're like, wait, what? That's my favorite part.
Right.
And I wish they did more of that. But, yeah, Time Stories.
Cool.
My number 2.
And finally, number 1.
Oh, it's an explosion.
It's the explosion of exploration.
I got to
right.
try to figure out what Sam's...
What do you think it is?
Well, your number 1's between two things. Sam?
Between two cities.
It's not something someone's already said, right?
No.
Is
Well, that
it
was hurtful.
from
Is it from Games Workshop?
No.
Say it.
What's Sam's favorite dungeon crawler?
No.
It's not a dungeon crawler?
Village Attacks.
No.
Can't be Blood Rage. There's no exploration in Blood Rage.
No, there isn't.
Is it TI4 still?
It is TI4. Still.
See, this was their last time, and I disagree with you that. I disagree with that. Where's the exploration?
It's a 4X game. What's the first X?
Ah!
Explore.
Expand.
The first X is in
exploit,
PAX.
And
Just as a-
exterminate.
PAX
No.
is the first X.
No, it's a 4X game. The first thing you have to do in a 4X game is explore.
Where's
about-
the exploring, though? What is it? What is it?
You're digging through the bits in the box trying to set the game up.
Where's the other components? That's the first part, is exploring.
Now, if you play with Distant Suns,
Yes,
there's exploring,
I get it.
but you never do. Or do you play Distant Suns?
No, I do enjoy it.
Are you guys playing with Distant Suns this weekend?
Yeah, it's not.
It's not in 4th edition? I wonder why.
Because
Oh, so you're saying TI3 then?
no, I'm saying TI4
Okay.
because that's the
I meant just what I'm
current
hearing,
edition
sorry.
that's there, and it's a 4X game. First thing you have to do is
All right.
explore.
Do you actually like reveal planets and stuff?
No.
You're just spreading? Is that what
Yes.
you mean?
I didn't put it on my list.
Roy just said I didn't put it on my list.
That's true. No, you're exploring. It's again. I said at the very beginning that some of these games were very mechanically explorative, and some of them were not.
Okay, so you're picking this based on the
The
idea.
theme,
This
the
is
idea
the
of
theme.
spreading.
This
All
is
right.
the theme, and it's my second
Like a
favorite game of all
disease.
time. So there you have it. It is an exploration game in theme mostly.
That's cool.
All right.
That works.
But I
Also,
think
you've been
they're-
thinking about it. They're playing it this weekend for Roy's birthday.
Yeah. But
I meant
yeah,
they.
it has exploration in it, and it's my second favorite game of all time. Made the list.
And if Blood Rage had exploration in it,
you would have
you
known.
can bet your
Not
bop.
necessarily.
All right, so I have 2 games here I think that it could
Okay,
be.
go ahead.
It's either, because you've been putting it on every list lately, but Arkham
bang the
Horror,
dice game.
Arkham Horror, the living card game, because you're
Okay.
exploring through the house,
Okay.
or Robinson Crusoe.
I think it's the living card game.
It's neither one of those.
Oh.
Really?
This is the typical flip
Claustrophobia!
a tile thing.
Claustrophobia, then? That would have been my 3rd choice, but Sam said it already.
Claustrophobia! I said it first! Let him out! Let him out! Yeah, Claustrophobia, 1643, just because it's the new one, but whatever.
I think that was a waste of time, really.
That mechanism is the same in both. And it's that sort of, core exploration, like Takal exploration, right? The idea of, I'm going to walk that way, flip a tile, place it there, ooh, dead end, or, oh, no, that cavern has teeth.
Boy.
That kind of thing. I really need to find a better pictures for this, but this is all I got.
There's
Every
dice.
single time, that's what you use.
That's the
Oh,
only
look, here's
thing.
the dice.
I am going to
Take a picture next time you play it.
set this game up and take a photograph of me dying by some tentacle cat.
And I will go out of my way to make sure every top 10 list I pick, there's no way you can put claustrophobia. Games that start with E or D.
I totally understand. The when we played this live, this exploring part of the game is what killed me.
Yeah. but it's
Because
a
I
big
got
part.
off on this tangent and I got on this, it was just turned into like this one way. I had no way to get back.
Right. It's cinematic. I like
Yeah.
that. I like that you're running down a cavern. You realize it's a dead end, so you have to turn around, but the demons are coming at you,
Yes.
so you got to hack and slash
Yep,
your way
yep,
out. There's one scenario, the first scenario in both of the original edition and this one, which was all about finding your way out. You felt a faint draft of air, and you were trying to figure out which way it was. So you'd start
How
exploring.
did you get in?
You fell in, I think,
Ah.
and then had to find your way out. But you sometimes would do that. You'd hit a dead end, and then you'd be like, oh, back it to the last time it forked,
Draft of air.
and go there. I really like the exploration in this. And you mix that, of course, with the theme, the simplicity for a complex game, for like a game with a lot of moving parts, the way in which it's handled. It's simple.
You ultimately find out that draft of air was the barbarian.
It's a dragon's breath.
No, it was the barbarian. He had bad burrito for
And
breakfast.
he keeps walking in front of you, so you're like, this way. Anyway, that's my number one pick, claustrophobia. And your number one pick,
By a mile, like
oh, I know.
easily.
This has been on your mind also. Seven
Right, because I'm
Continents.
playing it this Saturday
yeah.
also, 7th Continent. And this
I
is...
guess I have to play claustrophobia this Saturday, guys. You're doing yours.
And this is before anything with that expansion. I haven't even touched the expansion. Just the base game. I love it. Because you land on the island and you're not sure what you're going to find.
An old man. And you beat him.
Are you going to let that go?
No!
True, I remember that. The
was-
one time we played this game.
No, the one time you played it, because I played it way more than once.
we-
That's what I
We.
said. We
The one time we all together played, you found an old man living in a hut.
beat the snot out
peacefully.
of him.
A peaceful old man.
Yep.
And I believe you bothered that old man.
Okay.
Physically. With fists and sticks. Oh, bother.
Oh, I thought we were playing him in a board game. That's how I beat him. It was checkers.
no.
Checkmate.
Yeah, but I love how it's like, it does better than Time Stories in this regard, because it's like multiple Time Story games, essentially.
Sure, right.
And yet somehow they crisscross each other.
Right.
That's what's fascinating about the game, is that you will find stuff for one thing and like, that's interesting, but doesn't have anything to do with my mission. But if I come back to that land, you can even, get in a boat and go off to another whole continent that doesn't even have anything to do, another island on the continent that doesn't have anything to do with where you're supposed to be going.
Wow.
Yeah,
I
it's-
haven't played enough to remember
Yeah,
that
it's really,
stuff.
really fun. Man, I can't wait to play it.
It's like a
Super
video
pumped.
game almost, right? Walking around in like a video game, finding...
Yeah, I
things.
think so. And it's like, ooh, here's a gem. I don't need a gem right now, but I'll remember if I ever am doing the gem curse or whatever.
Interesting. Okay.
So, all
A
right.
bunch of good games, guys.
Yeah.
Here's your chance to ask us why we didn't put whatever on our list. I'm going to start with you, Robinson Crusoe, and Arkham Horror. I'm going to assume you say LCG is not exploration.
There's a little bit of that, but it's like 10% of the whole game. I just didn't feel like it was warranted. Whereas the other ones, I think the exploration is a bigger part of it. Robinson has just been slipping for me, man. And again, it's the complexity overhead.
We were talking about this the other day because every time we get out Robinson Crusoe, we feel like we have to relearn the game.
You know, like claustrophobia is tough to beat, to play and win and stuff. There's exploration. It's got an immersive theme. But I can remember most of the rules. I can play that game. I can be like, you know what I feel like playing? Bam, play it. When I feel like playing Robinson Crusoe, I better make sure I got the evening free. Because I'm going to need to learn it again. Keep the rule book handy, you know? That's what it is. That's why.
Otter said the old man was asking for it. All right. Why no Zaya? I got a lot of asks about Zaya.
There you go.
Zaya was on my short list. It just didn't make it because I feel like the exploration part of it is really interesting at the very beginning. And then the rest of the game, you set up and do your attacking and delivery and stuff like that. Although it is really funny when someone flies into the sun. Chronicles of Crime was the game I thought of halfway through when I was talking about apps, but I've since eradicated it from my mind, and because I feel like, yes, there is exploration. You go around town and find stuff, but there's also a lot. I would just
like investigation.
Yeah, it's more
almost.
investigation.
I know that's like
I'm
splitting
exploring
hairs.
the motives.
Yeah, it's sort of splitting hairs, but it feels like you're investigating, not exploring necessarily. Yeah.
What else are people asking about? Vindication was on my short list. Also on my short list was Robinson Crusoe and Heroes of Land, Air, and Sea, but there's not a ton of exploring in that.
Okay.
Did you have anything on your short lists?
Nope.
No? Okay.
I had a few
what about
other-
El Dorado? It has a
Like the
theme.
Fun Duty game?
No, I think they mean Road to El Dorado. Or Quest for El Dorado, whatever the Knizia game
racing
is.
game?
Yeah.
Oh.
That's
It doesn't feel like exploring at all.
it's a racing game.
It's like traversal. That's it.
Star Trek Ascendancy. There is some exploring. You're finding new.
Star Trek? What is
I
that?
don't know.
If there's not Wookiees in it, I don't want to know about it.
Outer Rim. Is there any? I haven't played it. Only you have.
Yeah, I guess maybe you could have it. You could. I don't know. It kind of feels shoehorned because you're dealing with players who know the galaxy. There's not really exploration in it. You're not exploring anything. You're just going to different ports. You don't know who is in the port specifically as far as characters you can interact with. But it doesn't have the exploration feel because you're dealing with characters who know the galaxy that they're in.
Right. That's a good.
Paul says Z Pandemic Explorers Edition. Why about it? Explorers of the
cool.
North Kingdom?
Explorers of the North Kingdom?
Raiders of the North Kingdom, Explorers of the North Kingdom. It's just not good enough of a game.
That doesn't sound. I don't think they have that title right because I actually did see it. And I was like, nah, I don't like that game.
I didn't
It's
dislike it.
Explorers
It's
of the
just
North Sea, I
Explorers of
think.
the North Sea. You're right.
Yeah.
Explorers of the North Sea. It's just
Right.
It's not bad, but you just move around.
Now you got me thinking about an exploring pandemic. That's a good idea.
Archipelago. I never know how to say that.
Archipelago.
Archipelago.
Yeah.
There's a bit of exploration in that one. I don't think you guys have ever played
Never
it.
played it.
It's a heavy Euro game. Other than that,
Ooh, nice.
Tales of Arabian Nights, Agents of Smersh.
Wait a minute, that's a smash up.
No, they.
No, it's Agents of Arabian Nights.
Tales of Agents of Smersh.
I know I haven't played the Agents of Smersh one, but Tales of the Arabian Nights or whatever, that's not exploration. That's overpriced choose your own adventure. It doesn't,
I
not
agree.
exploration.
Choose your own adventure is not necessarily exploration. Like I thought about the
House of Danger.
House of Danger too, but you really just pick the next choice. On the flip side, with Dragonholt, which is also choose your own adventure style, you pick on the map where you go.
Right.
Yeah, sure.
And so I thought that did better. Cryptid is not exploration, it's
Deduction,
logic.
there's really no exploration in that, no.
Exploring kittens? That's funny.
No, it's not.
That
It's
is
like
funny.
dissection.
Yeah, it's okay.
I didn't say exploding kittens, exploring kittens.
Yeah, you
Forbidden
gotta
Desert
dissect 'em to
or
explore 'em.
Island?
Which one?
Forbidden Desert or Island, either one.
Forbidden Desert, I guess, feels a little bit like exploration. The other one does not. Forbidden Island does not.
When I was going through the list, I considered Desert. It just didn't make my short list. But
It's like kind of like exploring Junior. Yeah, I could see that.
you're looking for.
You got to find where the 2 points tell you where the stuff is buried. That's a good call. That's my number 11 pick. Bam, that just happened.
Says you'll have to redo the list when Tainted Grail comes out. Maybe.
Dun, dun.
Alrighty, well, I think I answered all the ones that people were really asking about. So thanks everybody for showing up. Of course, if you're watching this later on, let us know what your favorite exploration games are in the comments. Tell us ones that we should be playing. We'll, of course, listen.
I do like this kind of game. There's not that many.
I love it.
But it's a fun adventure. It's a fun kind of game to get lost into, and there's something still magical about a map being randomly generated, even if it is just by obviously not really you're just flipping tiles. It feels good, man. It's a cool thing.
Yeah, and it's really when you go somewhere, you're like, I
One-
like that.
It's the one kind of game I think that is most able to trick us into thinking this hasn't been seen or done or explored before. That's magical a little bit.
Yep, I agree.
Alrighty. Thanks, guys. Until next time, I'm Tom Vassell.
I'm Zig Garcia. Have a good one.
Sam Healy, see you on the flip side. Take care. Until then.